There's a knock on your door and the police want to talk to your child. What do you do? Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Your Right to Know with Tony DeFazio of DeFazio and Zeiden. Well, Tony, every parent's nightmare, police are at your door. What do you do?
Well, the first thing you do is you have to realize that you have no idea why those police are there. And you don't know what your son or daughter may have done or may have been, or whatever they've told you about they're doing that night, you don't know. The police are there for a specific reason. They didn't just pick your house out of a hat. They have a reason why they're there. They want to talk to your son. They want to look in your computer. They want to search your house. And they are going to do everything they can to get in and do those things. They've been trained to do that. They've been taught how to do that. And they have an objective in this thing, which is to close out some kind of a case. It's not to do an investigation. It's to make a determination. They've already made their decision when they've already come to your house.
So typically you look in the movies and where's your search warrant? Do they have to have a search warrant or?
Well, when they first come to your house, you have to find out where your son is, where your daughter is, and then you have to tell both of them to basically to stop talking. If the police want, the police are going to tell you what they want. You can ask them, but it's not your obligation to A, talk to them, to B, let them in your house. Let them see your cell phone, let them see your son's room, let them search, let them talk to anybody,
right.
Or let them speak to your children without you being there. They also don't have the right to take your kids down to the police station. They may say, well, we have to go down and clear some things up, but they don't have a right to do that, especially if you're in your own house. They have no right to take you out of your house unless they have a warrant, an arrest warrant or a search warrant.
Well, you mentioned that they're well trained in this. And so the question is, do they have to even tell you the truth?
No, they don't have to tell you the truth. Police are allowed to lie. They're not allowed to lie when they get into court on a witness stand. They're not allowed to lie in affidavits, but they are allowed to lie to anyone to get them to say anything that they want, to get what they need. If they want to get, if they think your son has committed or daughter has committed a crime, they're going to want to get that child down to the police station with you present or without you present, depending on how old they are. They're going to want to get them down there. They're going to read them their rights, and then they're going to interrogate them until they get them to make a confession or some kind of admission to some kind of crime. And you don't know what that is. And this is not the time to grab your son or daughter and grill them right in front of the police department, or let the police grill them in front of them to try to find out what's going on.
Right.
Because you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to get a straight answer, or you might get an answer that might get your son or daughter in a lot more trouble than he is right now.
And in police's defense, I mean, they're trained to do a job. They're trying to get as much information as they possibly can, as they legally can. And they try and get whatever they can, thinking you might not know your rights. And so you're going to offer a lot more. And the more you offer, the more it might cost you down the road, right?
Right. I mean, what you have to do at this point is, if the police are at your door and they want to talk to your son or daughter, you got to call an attorney. Whether it's 11 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you've got to call an attorney, and you've got to basically say to those police, my son or daughter is not coming with you or not speaking to you until I've spoken to an attorney. Because what an attorney is going to be able to do, whether it's me or someone else, is they're going to be able to talk to your son or daughter alone. And they're going to be able to get the background story from the police about generally why you want to talk to my client. Because a lot of times when the police come to your house, they've already made a decision they're going to arrest your son or daughter. And one of the things I'll do when I get involved in the case is call the police right away and say, my client's not going to talk to you. Do you want to arrest her? And they'll turn around and say, yes, I do want to arrest her. They've made that decision before I ever got in that case.
Yeah, right.
They didn't decide, oh, because you're being uncooperative, we're going to arrest you. No, no, no. They've made the decision. Your uncooperativeness is making their lives a little bit more difficult, but it is not going to change the outcome of the case. Because once the police make the arrest and they hand the paperwork over to the district attorney's office, the police have no more say in how that case gets resolved.
Sure.
So they may make promises to you, if it'll go easy, if you cooperate, if you tell us what to do, but at the end of the day, you need to find out what happened as a parent. And the only way to do that is to hire someone to come in and do that. It may cost you a little bit of money now, but if it can keep your son or daughter out of jail, out of a prison sentence, out of a much more serious situation, you need to do that. And you could always deal with the consequences of what they may have done at a later date. But now is not the time, not in front of a couple police officers at your house at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, good points. And that's why it's Your Right to Know with Tony D. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Your Right to Know. Tune in next week with more interesting information of things you need to know to make sure that you have all of your rights in order.